Hey, this is Tiqqle, and in this video we're talking about the Enhancement Shaman 9.2. Different builds I'm expecting to be pretty good and might be the most exciting build in single target PvE in my opinion. Now, I'm gonna quickly go over the 2-set, 4-set, and then we'll get into one of the three or four builds that I'm seeing coming out. I actually think that the playstyle for Enhancement Shaman is finally shifting away from Doomwinds, I hope, because that is easily countered in PvP, and in PvE, it's okay, but it's just that 12-second window. Otherwise, the playstyle, I think some people found it dull as they all went over to Windwalkers, Warriors, and Rent Paladins. So this isn't a plea for you to come back, but please pay attention because I actually think this is the most exciting Enhancement Shaman gameplay that we're going to see this X-Pack because they are finally making some changes, as well as buffing our Frost Shock by 40% and our Conduits all got buffed. I think that was kind of a nod to the fact that, hey, I know you need a little bit of help. I don't think that they're gonna fully fix Wind Fury Totem, but it is what it is. Now let me just go ahead and quickly cover the 2-set, 4-set for Enhancement Shaman. Number one, spending Maelstrom Weapon has a 3% chance to per stack to summon a Feral Spirit. That means at 5 stacks, 15%. And you get that Feral Spirit for 9 seconds. Your 4-set is your Feral Spirit's attacks have a 20% chance to trigger Stormbringer, resetting the cooldown of your Storm Strike. Resetting the, yeah, there you go, the cooldown of your Storm Strike. Now, some of you might say, well, that kind of sounds nice. Frankly, this is the closest we're gonna get to spamming Storm Strikes like we did in BFA and Legion. So let's go ahead and just see what it looks like. I am gonna go ahead, I'll leave Witch Doctor Wolfbones on because I do think this is gonna be the baseline build for anybody trying to do anything on Enhancement Shaman, potentially even PvE or PvP. As a baseline build, I think that it's going to go away from Doomwinds. Every Enhancement Shaman knows that getting countered by disarms that every single class in the game has, including casters like Boomkins, makes you want to punch your screen. Now, what we'll do is I'll just show you what the rotation feels like. Obviously, I'm not the most geared, and some of my gear is like not optimized, but I am trying to just throw on those tier sets, which we'll configure later. We'll talk about Hot Hand, Hailstorm, Fire Nova later, but let's go ahead and just see what it looks like, as well as using Elemental Blast, which is now key to this build. I'm also using Elemental Spirits, because yes, of course, we need to use those doggos as much as possible. So let's go ahead and just see. So we start at 0 Maelstrom. Of course, it's gonna be starting a little bit slow. So ready, we'll go ahead and we'll pop the dogs. Now pay attention to that cooldown, because that's gonna be huge and a big, big part of why this is gonna be so engaging. And when I say engaging, or we'll pop the wolves, I almost mean that you're gonna be spamming a lot of buttons, because the biggest thing for an LA Shaman, or Enhancement Shaman, hello, is we're gonna be able to finally have, like, not only buttons to press for every global, but we're gonna have shit lighting up non-stop. And part of that is the tier set and that bonus. So there already the wolves are gone. I had 2 out, I didn't get lucky on the RNG, but if you see, the cooldown is just about over. It's done, we bring it back out. So again, wolves are back. What was the downtime? 2 seconds, and shit is lighting up. Another spawned wolf. It's a freaking raptor, Tiqqle, please. People are gonna get pissed. And you're seeing my bars are just freaking out. Now you might say, well, Tiqqle, you know, hey, it's a lot of buttons to press. Yeah, but people have been complaining about, and we have 10 seconds left. So people have been complaining about Enhancement Shaman and not having enough buttons to press. Well, guess what? Here you go, Jared. Press those buttons. So here again, we just kind of keep it going. So there really is not a lot of downtime. Now I'll say the biggest thing that you're gonna have to do is monitor your Maelstrom weapon stacks, because those are gonna be, hey, what the hell are you doing? Get back on my target. You're gonna have to be min-maxing those to the best of your ability, almost waiting to even spawn your wolves maybe until you have max Maelstrom. And not overcapping, because you're gonna get a ton of them because of, and you can see it up here, I don't have the weak ore set up on PTR. Because of those dogs, the dogs are also going to be spawning, or they're gonna be giving you a chance at getting those Maelstrom weapon stacks. So that's what's gonna also help you just keep spender, spender, spender. And you might be observant and say, well, Tiqqle, you're not even on a, on a Venthyr tune. Yeah, that's right. I'm on a Necrolord. It's fine. I don't think Necrolord is the play at all, but I'm just doing it as a way to just show you that it, you know, the build by itself without any alternate modifiers. So that's number one. I think that it's going to be pretty fun, especially because you're going to get the dog procs. As you start to get more haste, if you look at my haste, it's actually not that high. You can get much higher than that. And I think that single target, it's going to be great because the Feral Spirits are going to keep spawning. They're going to give you those secondary effects. If this parse is better than Ascendance, I don't know if it does. I haven't checked. Elemental Blast actually doing good damage, thank the heavens. It actually does Okay, I lost my stacks. Elemental Blast is doing good damage, and that's partially because they buffed the conduits. Remember, this conduit got seriously buffed. This isn't even at max level. It's 226. Getting 9% per stack here. I think the highest is like, what is it, 12? You'll tell me that. You'll correct me in the comments. YouTube's good at that. So, you know, you start using these spenders. That was a 6K normal. That's going to be amped up by my conduit. It's also going to be amped up by fire dogs. It's also going to be amped up by a lot of things. So I am pretty excited about that. Now, that's the first build that I want to talk about because I think this is going to be baseline. The doggos are going to be out and they're going to be running like crazy, and that's partially because the tier sets made exactly for that. Now, I can't speak to any other class and what their tier sets are. I did see Frost DKs. It was pretty cool, but I'm hoping that this does allow Enhanced Shamans to keep up with the pack, pun intended. So now that's one build. The other build is going to be based around wow, dude, get it together, Tiqqle. Lava Lash. Lava Lash, again, Magma Fist is also getting a buff. That will be, I think, is up towards 50% once you max the conduit out. And so I also think Hot Hand is actually pretty fun with this build as well. You'll start to see things go kind of crazy, and then you might say, well, Legendary, well, you could still run Hot Hand, I think, with the Witch Doctor Wolf Bones. I don't know how it parses yet. I haven't checked that out, especially because of Magma Fist getting that buff. But I want to believe that these are going to be good. And I've talked to a bunch of you in the Twitch chat every day, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you also believe there are so many people, and this has been ever since Legion. I mean, it's been ever since forever, dude. People find niche specs to make Enhancement Shamans entertaining. Especially because we're just addicted to them. But this is a build that I want to believe in, but I don't know. And one of the reasons I want to believe in it is because Frost Shock or Flame Shock spread is finally a thing. If I Flame Shock, I Lava Lash, it spreads. That is going to help this buff go up pretty quickly. Lava Actuators. If you don't know what it does, don't worry. A lot of people have not been using this. It's each time Flame Shock deals periodic damage, increase the damage of your next Lava Lash by 12% and reduce the cooldown. I don't really understand the reduce the cooldown part, but I'll tell you that I really, really like this, and I want it to be good. I just got a Hot Hand, so now I have a Hot Hand and I have that proc. So, all right, we're just gonna press it. Okay, we just pressed it. I had a Hot Hand proc. That's exactly what I was going for. I wanted max stacks of Lava Actuators, which is about 100% increased damage, as well as getting Hot Hand. If you don't know what this is melee auto attacks with Flame Tongue active. Have a 5% chance to reduce the cooldown of Lava Lash. I don't know why everything does that. Well, it's actually kind of important for Hot Hand, I guess. And increase the damage by another 100. So now you got 100 from this. You got 100 from this. Okay, 200%, and you can get even more from Elemental Spirits. Now let's go ahead and look at the damage here very quickly before it's lost forever. Lava Lash hit for 16k crit. And again, it's gonna have about a 50% crit, so that's pretty reliable. Now, what I'll tell you is I do believe that this could combo pretty nicely with our 4-piece to make our doggos, a lot of doggos. And with all those dogs, you might get Firewolves. Firewolves increasing the damage even more. So you got 100%, 100%, and you're about to get even more. So let's see what that could look like. I'm gonna lust with this one too. Oh, dude, are you kidding me right now? I had double wolves. This is actually a perfect test. I didn't even make that up. That was 20k. Okay, that was not 20k. We'll wait until, I don't even know what numbers I'm hitting for right now. All right. Another Hot Hand, another 15k. Okay, this is actually like too good of a test. Like that was the first time. You usually have to do like 14 takes and repeat all the same words to you guys over and over. But let's go ahead and just look back at the damage breakdown because that actually looked pretty good. Now again, the first one I used max stacks of Lava Primal Actuators, but to be honest with you, after that I just pressed it kind of on cooldown with the Hot Hand. With the Hot Hand proc. Sometimes this will make your button light up and it will trick you that it's Hot Hand. You kind of have to look for the default weak auras to kind of indicate it. So let's go ahead and look. The first Lava Lash, which had pretty much everything and double wolves, was 20k crit. That is pretty good, especially for a character that's not really optimized. And again, if I had more mastery, it could kind of be nice, but I don't. It could be, maybe I'm hoping that this means that it is possible, especially with this build in particular, where you're using actuators and you have Elemental Blast. Maybe finally, Mastery will be very good for an Enhancement Shaman. There's a chance, and particularly as a Night Fae. So that was one, and then I hit Lava Lash again. That was only a 3.4K. We go down. Lava Lash hit for 5K. So like these numbers are not really very impressive. So that's the one, and another 15K crit. So that's not shabby. So, but that was almost too good. Let's look at the build one more time. I want to just show you what it looks like. Again, it's stacking up, so we'll give it a minute here as I kind of get my stacks rolling. I'll do a spender, maybe I summon a wolf, or maybe I just don't. Wind Fury's down. I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments for that one. All right, so we're at max stacks of lava actuators. We're gonna wait. There's Hot Hand. Pull out the wolves. One Fire Wolf. Hit for an 18K right there. That's not shabby. We're gonna do it again. We are hitting decently hard, but only like 7Ks. And of course, that's not enough. You know, oh, 15K. So our crit is pretty nice. Another 13K. So that's pretty nice, actually. Especially because I'm kind of shit geared. So I am pretty optimistic about this build. The other thing I want to note is I'll just auto attack this. I don't know what happened, but I do feel like Hot Hand procs more often. It's totally tinfoil hat. But I actually kind of get the vibe that it does. So I was doing some testing, and I was like, oh, you know, oh, I feel like I have, like, back to BFA levels of being able to press buttons. So I think, I don't know if that's just me or if anyone else has had testing, and has noticed the same thing. Maybe I'm just so preoccupied with all the buttons I can press that it just, it procs, and, like, of course, it's not procking at all right now. But it's pretty satisfying. So that is the second build. I actually think this one could be good in PvP, mainly because, and maybe even with Sky Fury, dude, honestly, because you can scale that damage with Sky Fury, I do believe, because it is fire damage. I really hope that this is a build that is similar to Windwalkers, that might bring some Shamans back, because I know a lot of you are playing Windwalkers or Ret Paladins, probably the Demon Hunters now that are Necrolords don't die, and don't even have to heal. I don't even know how that works. But, I think that this is a chance to stack enough multipliers to get big, big, big Lava Lashes. Now, that is my hope. That is my prayer. That also might require you to be Mastery verse build. I don't know how that will work out, but we'll see. You can't get disarmed on it, though. That much I do know. Now, the last build that I will show you is having to do with Venthyr. Venthyr's, and we haven't talked about double legendaries. Let me just quickly touch on that. Double legendaries is going to be good for two different types of shamans. Number one, the Night Fae. Night Fae with Witch Doctor Wolf Bones, you get that Night Fae legendary, you get Witch Doctor Wolf Bones, and you get our 4-piece. You're going to be vomiting wolves out everywhere, but you'll actually probably have, you'll be able to press your wolves cooldown again before your wolves dissipate with more that have spawned. So you'll have a shitload of, you'll have pretty much a wolf pack. So that will be very cool. Now, that's one build. That's probably purely PvE. Now, PvP side, again, I still think that Venthyr is going to be the go-to. Chain Harvest, you just can't beat it. But I do think that the legendary for Venthyr is actually pretty awesome now that they have made Flame Shock Spread. Because now the Venthyr legendary, which is basically every time you chain harvest, it puts a flame shock on everything, and a Riptide on your friendlies. That will be good because your flame shock ticks that crit will reduce the cooldown of chain harvest, and it gets your chain harvest down to like a 30-second cooldown. No longer will you sit there and wait for it to come up to get those kills on the Disc Priest. You'll be able to be perfectly fine. This is another shaman I have on here. Let me go ahead and switch my legendaries. Let's go ahead and use the one. Yep, this is up to 5 friendly targets healed by chain harvest. We'll have a Riptide on them, and 5 targets will be hit by chain harvest. We'll have a flame shock put on them. Again, Mythic Plus, or it's either Mythic Plus or potentially PvP, because this will help you get that cooldown. Now, we'll see his Chain Harvest down there. You know, typical rotation now. Tiqqle put down Wind Fury. Yep. All right, we're going to go ahead and use the Spender, Chain Harvest. Another Spender, another Wolf. You do love to see it. Now, again, we're going to look at that cooldown of Chain Harvest. That is going to start to go down by those ticks of Flame Shock. It is not something we can control. We could min-max it a little bit by spreading Flame Shocks, but that's one of the worst things, one of my least favorite things about min-max. Like, I could be like, oh, Flame Shock over there. Like, there's a little bit of min-maxing you can do, but I don't really want to... It's one of the reasons why it's not very good right now, is like min-maxing it is such a pain. But we're down to 30 seconds. So I think it is about Man, I have no timer. All my timers reset. My dogs reset, and now Chain Harvest. But getting the Flame Shock ticks, you can see it, all that's like at certain times jump down, making crit even more valuable for us as well. So it brings it down. You can see like it's kind of chunks the timer pretty nicely. And again, it's also based on our hits, and it's back up again. So how long was that? I don't know. You can look at the time on the YouTube thing, but that's another build I think will be good for Mythic Plus, as Chain Harvest is already very useful as a heal for your group. So that's the other build. I do think that Venthyr will be the go-to for PvP. I think this legendary will be a default because you can get it at such a high item level with the stats you want. So I think we'll take it. I don't think it's God's Gift. I don't think it's Windwalker level OP. You know, it's not like, you know, Necro DH style feels good, but it's decent. Now, other than that one, I believe we will probably be stacking Witch Doctor Wolfbones or Lava Actuators. I wish I was saying to you that Frost Witch was going to be good, but it just doesn't. I just don't see it right now. So that's pretty much the build. I love it. I'm very excited about it. It actually makes me want to potentially raid again, especially because if I switch over to Ellie, the 2-set, 4-set there, very, very interesting things can happen. And of course, as always, Shamans are the spec that we will theory craft the hell out of, but frankly, who the hell knows if they're even good or not. So with that being said, guys, that's the build. That's what I wanted to share with you. I'm very excited about it. Oh, I didn't talk about Fire Nova. Yeah, Fire Nova is a thing. The problem is Hailstorm is just so strong now that Frost Shock got buffed even more. How are you going to compete? You're going to go up, you're going to spread your Flame Shock, and then you're going to pop it, which seems good. I mean, listen, it's not bad, but it's not incredible, okay? It's not like Fire Mage Burst, you know, AoE incredible. So it's just it's a little tough for me to get too excited about it, but it makes it at least a little bit more possible. So with that being said, I hope that they buff anything that's a little bit undertuned for us. If our damage numbers aren't quite there, give us that 10%. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be on Twitch every day, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, trying this stuff out, playing the PvP, RBGs with you guys, arenas on all the Shaman specs. And if there's any guys you guys think that would be very useful, I know a lot of people are playing Resto Shaman in PvP right now, might come out with a kind of tips or tricks on that to help people out for their last second glads. But that's it, guys. With that being said, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for the support. I love you guys. Adios.